still trying to figure out what happened last night. You know, I'm in the throes of severe weather coverage. Man. I mean, I'm in the throes of it. Battling the lightning, battling the thunder.
Literally.
And little did I know, of course, we had 5 tornado warnings too. But no, little did I know there was a bigger battle of the thunder. What the heck happened?
Well, first of all, you were amazing. Like, you signed on for continuous coverage like around 9:40.
Right.
You were on till 10:50.
Yeah, I had to stay. I mean, that tornado warning was at Alamo Heights, then to Kirby, then out I-10 towards Seguin. It was crazy.
Because you came back in the newsroom, you're like, must have water.
Yeah.
Need agua.
But I remember leaning over at one point, I'm like, what happened in the game? And Henry's like, we lost. So what happened? I mean, because the moment before that, I walked in the newsroom, I said, how we doing? And you were like, Champagne with 2 threes in a row. Oklahoma City timeout. I'm like, we're cooking. Let's go.
So the Thunder built I believe, a 10-point first half lead and kind of kept that in place. Then they started the third quarter 7-0 and kind of built that lead. Suddenly they're up 20 before we know it. But the Spurs really did battle back. They had back-to-back threes from, I think, Champagne, maybe Keldon and Devin. That got it to 7 or 8, but then down the stretch, OKC built that thing back up, and really just the Spurs could not get that game to within 1 or 2 possessions to maybe crack it finally. They just couldn't quite get there last night.
You know what would have put us over the top? The Spurs Coyote.
Could have.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man, Rob Wicall. Hey! The Spurs Coyote. Come on, bro.
What's
Good
up,
to
Bill?
See you. You know, I'm thinking
Vinny.
a lot of people have never seen you.
I know. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
You were the Spurs Coyote for how long? How many seasons?
16 years as the full main guy, and then I backed up for a few years, so 20 total. Yeah, man.
What was that like, man?
It's a lot of sweat.
How do you get that gig?
You're in the right place at the right time, man. You know, it's funny. No one's ever auditioned for the Coyote. It was Tim, the original guy. I just met him, was a part of the Spurs organization as their like interactive team, took over, and then the new guy had been around, and I knew him well, and gave him the spot. So
I remember
no real auditions.
when we interviewed Tim when he was going into the San Antonio Sports Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Asked him if he had a favorite bit of all time, and I forget what he shared, but did you have a favorite, Rob, bit of all time as the Spurs Coyote?
As a Coyote?
There's so many bits you do, right? I definitely would say I had some favorite moments, some favorite skits, specifically like some playoff skits. But I don't know. There's so many. It's funny when you're out and about and somebody hears what you used to do, they'll say, oh my gosh, do you remember that time? And I'm like, I got nothing.
Exactly.
Like I did that. There was 5,000 times that I
What year
poured
was
popcorn.
your first year? What
96.
season? 96. That's when I moved here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
96.
remember hiring the Spurs Coyote for my daughter's 5th birthday.
What?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And back then, it was like $150.
Yeah. I think it's still 150.
So worth it. It was the best money I ever spent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it was you. I don't even remember.
I don't remember. Obviously, I don't remember back then.
She was
right?
5, so this had to be 2003, 4.
Wow.
And we were out at Home Court America. Coyote comes in, and we had like 25-year-olds. And the Coyote hung out and partied with us and was
We
so
had that
gracious.
thing. We had school shows and like had them down, man. We nailed them.
Did you love doing those school shows? Because the kids are so into the Coyote when
Yes,
it's there.
they're so much fun. And I'll tell you what, you know how you have that behind the scenes stuff? Part of the fun was I would have an assistant, right? My assistant that did everything with me, but he would do these school shows. And I would just like to mess with him the whole time and just like ride him, mess up in the show so he has to fix it. Just that was the fun for me, to be honest. But the kids were great, and we had a great school show that we absolutely loved, and it was so much fun.
To bring joy at that level, I mean, when the Coyote walks into a room, everything changes. You talk about a thermostat. You know, you raise the temp in a heartbeat. What would that feel like for you?
Honored, right? Like, it was twofold. It was an honor to give like that and to be able to change people's demeanor and those moments that you were able to create. That I always enjoyed the fact that I would go to the AT&T offices, their execs, like these super important people, and I bust into their office,
Yeah.
and they're loving it and laughing, and I'm thinking, these are like really important people.
Right. Yeah. Everybody's got that inner child.
Yes. And you can turn an adult into a kid like that. But then there were these moments where I would be in a bad place, going through whatever in life. You know how
absolutely.
you go through things in life, and you still got to get in front of a camera, right?
Yeah.
And do your gig.
Yeah.
And there were these times when these school shows, you're just like, it's everything I can do to just.
Yeah.
But you get in there, and these kids are so happy, and you'd flip a switch.
Turn
and
it on,
Yeah, and you'd remember, like, this is what's important.
And that's what you needed in that moment.
Yes,
right?
yes. It gave me that, it filled my cup. Yeah, it was really
good.
interesting.
You know, this is a hometown comment because you're the guy, but there may not be a better known mascot in the NBA than the Spurs Coyote. I'm trying to think of which mascot may be better known. I mean,
There's some well-known ones. I was really lucky that there were a couple good players on the Spurs team. There were a couple
maybe 2, 3 Hall of Famers. I don't know.
And so
Did all right.
the fact that we're in the finals multiple years, all of that helps that character. That I'm traveling to other countries and people know the Spurs, right? So then they love the Coyote.
There's a couple dots I'm trying to connect too. Like for someone who moves to San Antonio, you've got Texas. Okay, the Cowboy thing makes sense. You've got the Spurs. That makes sense because that's part of the Cowboy. How does a Coyote fit into that?
Yeah. Think if you do, you would know, Coyotes are indigenous here, right? There are, dude, I hear one
Every night.
all the time
Right.
in the back of my house.
Or that's
down
just in
by
your
the
head, bro.
Oh, but then the character of Wile E. Coyote was such a perfect image to base a character off of. And they're indigenous. And like you have mascots that are like Rowdy for the Dallas Cowboys. It's more of a human. And fur just is a winner. Like when you go to a little kid, that fur and being a character is so endearing to a child that it's way more powerful than an armadillo or whatever.
to me, it's the eyes too. It's that facial expression.
Yeah,
It's so good.
The look on his face.
So good.
Exactly.
I always was like, it's so crazy to me how he's always just, but I can portray anger, sadness, like you could portray so much with that head. It was so fun.
All of the eyes.
I remember doing an HEB commercial and literally all this stuff happens and I'm looking at the camera and I just sort of went, and they were like, perfect!
Really?
I was like, yes. But it portrayed what they wanted, but all I did was, like just a shoulder shrug. And they were like, yes, that's how that character.
What was the most challenging thing you ever did? I mean, when you talk about trampoline dunks, you talk about
even physicality and all that.
You're in great shape, and you have to be a full-fledged 100% athlete, just at the same level as those Spurs, man.
Yeah, physically and all that. That's a good question. There were some things that I did over the years that were physically demanding. I tried dunking from the 3-point line. I did roller skate dunk where I hit a ramp. I dunked through fire hoops. So some of that was like, okay, this is a little sketch. But like anything, you figured it out and you got it done and you made sure you practiced until you were successful or you didn't do it.
How much practice would you get?
All of those. I was always the type that I'm either going to be successful or not do it. Like when we had a dunk team, it was like they could do a front flip up between, and I was like, let's just put it through the hoop. Success is most important.
Exactly.
Right? Failure, they're not going to remember what you did. They're just going to remember you didn't put it through.
Did you do athletics or gymnastics when you were younger? Because clearly you have to have some athletic ability to do what you did.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because what got me into the Coyote is when I came on to work for the Spurs, my background was being an athlete. I had water skied at SeaWorld, so I was a professional water skier. I had, played sports all my life, and then I was a theater guy. I had acted. So it was like, wait a second, I was meant for this job.
This is my time.
This is what God put me on this earth to do. I used to make the joke, I was pretty much the Coyote, just a lower percentage as Rob. you know. I would always make jokes where I would trip and fall, and I was like a physical comedian in real life.
Already?
Anyway. Yes. So when Coyote came around, I was like, wait, I mean,
Right.
where do I sign?
Yeah. Then
It was
the
meant for me.
unexpected. I'll never forget the game when a bat was in the game with the Spurs, and Manu swats it out of the air.
2009.
2009, one of the most memorable moments in sports, never mind basketball or Spurs history.
That dude's a stud.
And then,
I was like,
isn't he
that
though?
is a real man.
I'm serious. I would
That's
have
a
ran.
real
I would
man.
have ran like a 3rd grader.
I'm like,
off the court and home.
Yes, I am very impressed
But
with
then
that.
I love how you parlayed it into that whole Batman costume and did the whole deal with it.
Yeah, so the whole story to that, the quick version, is a bat came down in, I want to say 03, 04. And that was like, and then game stops until it just took off, started the game back up. But I'm in the, I should plan for this in case it ever happens again. Find this old Batman costume, go buy a fishing net at Academy, and literally just brought them out every game and would set them by all my gear, just waiting.
Just
in
waiting
case.
for the night.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Every game from 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, when 09 happens and that bat comes, bro, 30 seconds. Like, I'm ready.
That many
so
years
if you watch
waited.
the footage,
Wow.
you will see Coyote come out. Players are on the court. So I can't run on the court because the game theoretically is still going on. They just had stopped, like, what are we doing here? So I'm on the sideline, like, I'm waiting. I am ready. I'm so excited.
It's
like,
incredible.
you know, if you have a bucket list for Matt, it was catch a bat.
one.
I
Number
want this
one.
bat. I've been putting that costume there since
training for this for
03.
years.
Yes, I'm ready. And so I was so excited. He swats that thing, and literally you see me like, and I just walk to the back,
My moment.
fold that, and set it back there. Guess we're waiting some more. So it was not until 2016, the year I was retired, that a bat came out, but it was pregame. So guys are out shooting around, warming up.
Yeah.
They shoo them off the court. I knew I had a moment because now there's no one on the court.
Right, I can go.
But now the Spurs have hired some pest control dude who just sits in the back with this long stick and is just waiting for a bat every night. They're just paying this dude in case, right?
Right.
So I'm like, well, I got a competition. This guy can see and he's a professional. I really better get to work here. So yeah, it was literally, I came out on that court and I was like, I am not letting anyone catch this bat. This is mine. This is mine. And when first of all, it was, you were like, wow, that is fast. Very fast. So
And erratic.
It was like the third time it came by me, and I just, I just saw it for a second and just did this.
Yeah.
Not
That's
knowing.
ninja training.
Just hoping. And I
Ninja.
looked down. It's in the net. So then I'm like, what do I do? And so I just sat there. You watch another. I just sat there, and here comes everyone to help. And I was like, I'm taking this bat off this court. This is my bat. And so I just grab it because I'm like, I got paw. I just grab it through the net.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to lift. So I just grabbed through the net and held it. And that was one of the couple of times in my career that I say I was Rob. I was just Rob Wicall in this moment, like, I did it! 12 years in the making.
Meanwhile, the pest control guy's sitting there going, son of a...
He's like, I might not have a job tomorrow now.
I just lost my career.
Just lost my job.
Because if memory serves, it happened right in front of Bill Land and Sean Elliott near midcourt, right?
It happened about free throw line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, about free throw line. Wow. But I walked probably right by them because I'm telling you.
Well, they were having a blast with it on play-by-play.
Oh, yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
Dude, and one of the cool things I say about that moment was to put on, and I know we're going to talk about entertainment and the Spurs, right? And what I did there, but to put on a live entertainment show is it's just like live TV, man. It takes a team. Yeah. You're on the camera.
You've got one shot at it.
Yes, you've got one shot. And you never know. There's so many variables that can occur. Next thing you know, there's a tornado out there. Exactly. And you just got to adjust, right? You just got to stay on camera.
Exactly.
So it's so hard to make that live show successful and entertaining for the crowd. You've got to be on, perfect, right? And so when that situation happened, it's pregame. So I always make the joke that it's like the camera guys are sitting there with their cameras, but they're just sitting in a chair.
right, waiting for the next.
They're not getting paid yet, right? Yeah, they're just sitting. They got their stuff laid out and everything's ready. Sound guy is sitting up in the sound booth, just like reading a book or whatever, right? He doesn't care. It's pregame. I come out with there's no planning for this. No one knows I'm coming out in a Batman costume. I just come out in costume, right? And immediately the sound guy hits the Batman theme. And I was like, wow, I love you, dude. Right? And then the camera guys, everybody gets their camera and starts filming me. And in the production room, they put a bat timer on the bottom third and started timing how long it would take me to catch the bat.
Impressive.
That's incredible.
So I don't even know I'm
on the fly. Yeah, this
on
was
the
not
fly.
even
And I was
planned.
like, that's what made us so good.
Yeah.
Those guys cared.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that. They're not getting paid right now. They're not on the clock.
Right.
But they chose to do that to make that show and make that moment. And I thought, that is so cool because that's a way bigger storyline.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right? That's what made the Spurs show really good.
And unique.
Yeah.
And unique.
True. You know, speaking of the moment, I'll never forget 1999 and the moment Avery Johnson hits that baseline jumper and we win the first championship in the Garden. And the fanfare, and I look at what's happening now. I want to kind of shift gears here a little bit and talk about how the difference lies with San Antonio Spurs fans. It seems like this energy in our city is bigger than when we won the finals. And we're just beating the Timberwolves and people are out by the thousands on Commerce and Southwest Military and honking and free tacos and
Wait, there's free tacos.
We're just winning games in the first round. Oh, you didn't know?
I didn't know. I
Yeah,
want some tacos.
Taco Palenque.
Taco
Palenque.
gosh.
We got to win. That's the problem. We got to win to get them.
Well, Thursday night.
Tell me about the difference. Do you see a difference?
I do. And you know what? I don't know the solution. I don't know the answer and the reason. But you know how just in life, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And I feel like we went through this period, and we used to say it at the Spurs. We won. When I was there, we never missed the playoffs. And I think one time we got ousted in the first round.
By the Clippers, I remember that.
So
Is that right?
Yeah.
There was every year we were second, third,
Yeah.
right, or fourth.
And had a shot
round.
at a title. Yeah.
Yes, everyone expected that. Thus, I'm trying to entertain these guys in the first round, and they're like, I'll talk to you in 3 weeks.
It's only game two.
Yeah, it's game 2 of round 2. No, who cares? We're going to win.
Right.
And so I feel like it was, at first 99, people were just, what happened?
Yep.
Then we got used to these guys winning. I blame it on the players. I feel like if they would have just ebbed and flowed a little bit more,
Right,
would have made
right.
my job easier.
But you have to be so
But,
good.
oh, you're just
You have
going to win
be
every
so
time.
Good. Yeah.
Every time. Come on, guys. And so then, now I feel like people are hungry.
Yeah, there's a whole new generation of young
Yes,
people.
and I don't even think about that a lot of these people were little kids for those.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were lying dormant for all those years. I think of my daughter's generation. You know, Carissa, and of course she's almost 30 now. And that was the generation that grew up with that incredible Spurs team, always gunning, always running, always title contenders. And then it lies dormant for so long. Now we're out. We're back.
Yes.
We're back.
Yeah, and they, it's like, you know, when an animal tastes blood,
Yeah,
it's like these fans know what it's like to win.
We've chummed the waters.
Now they're like, I want it again. Yeah, and they're rabid and so excited.
I saw that guy. That exact face. I
Those
saw him on
dudes are
Southwest
out there.
Military. He's
Yeah,
out there.
he was having a lot of Taco Palenque tacos, to be honest.
6 a.m. night.
Exactly right. Exactly.
Yeah, man, I really feel like it's that excitement and that energy being back. It's almost like and I always I've never came up with the right term. And I used to be in meetings all the time. I was like, what is the word for Spurs and Spurtonio? Or there's a, right? Like the Spurs and San Antonio are of the same fiber.
I like that.
There's no separating. When there was that, oh my gosh, they might, I was like, Spurs are never going anywhere. They are a part of San Antonio. They could never be anywhere else. And I knew the Holtz would never even think about it. But it's such a fiber and of oneness, right? That the identity of this city is the San Antonio Spurs. The culture is the same. Like, everything is so closely knit.
And to me, that's why this downtown Project Marvel fits so much better. You know, I actually saw a video the other night of this guy. I don't know where he's from, but he was reviewing the Frost Bank Center and saying, this is one of the only arenas in the league that there's nothing going on outside the arena but a parking lot.
Yeah.
And so when we put this in downtown, not only does it match up with what's going on in the NBA and sports culture now, but it also says San Antonio.
Yeah.
Walk to the Alamo.
Yeah.
Walk to the Spurs game. Walk to the Riverwalk, right?
Well, it's like Sean said at City Council that day, Sean Elliott, you know, this will make
Who's
us.
You've heard of him?
I don't know this
This
guy.
will make us the crown
Really nice
jewel
guy.
of Texas. I mean, Project Marvel will push San Antonio over the top.
Yes.
really
If
will.
it didn't happen, well, two things. It needs to happen, and that Alamo Dome renovation needs to happen, because we're going to lose so much revenue from that. I get the opportunity to work for the NCAA every time there's been a Final Four. I come in and
cool,
help them
dude.
out and work
Nice.
with them.
Yeah. They
and
love this city, don't they?
They love this city. They're just like, we can't anymore with this Alamo Dome. We just can't.
Really?
It doesn't have what we need. It's just unfortunate. The technology is not there.
But this Final Four, when it's here, is run so well, to Rob's point, they want to keep coming back.
They want to. They definitely want to come back, and so that's exciting as well. And I'm happy for SA Sports. For this opportunity. And, you know, having been in the NBA and worked for the NBA and traveled to probably just about every stadium in the NBA, you see most of them are in that. They're the anchor of an entire entertainment district. And to not have that in San Antonio has always been a bummer to me, because I know what is possible and excited about the opportunities that we're going to have in this city now. And now other things will be coming to because of it. Yes.
Yeah. You know, and when you talk about the city getting behind a team, you know, no city has it quite like this. I mean, as the sixth largest city in the United States, to have one professional sports franchise.
I don't know. There's nothing.
Of course,
probably in the
we're all
top.
in.
I don't even know, but I bet the top 25
I grew up
cities.
in the Northeast. Every pro sport has 2, 3 teams. So now it's like, this is the only one that's at this level in this pitch, right?
Yes, and so it's super exciting to see all of that, and it's super exciting to see the Spurs winning. I mean, you just feel it, right? It's just, I happen to be I'm at North Star Mall with my 15-year-old son, who's, I don't know what, with his friends, and I walk in and I see Bruce Bowen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Bruce, what's up? And we sat there and talked about how fun it is to see the Spurs winning again, and this city excited about the Spurs.
Right.
It just gave us goosebumps and good feelings of the
After
old
one
days.
of the
man.
Minnesota wins, I was on Hebner Road, and I pulled over at Quick Trip, and even there I saw one truck drive by with a Spurs flag. Ah, Spurs go! Right. And I'm like, bro, get down to Commerce.
He's just up on his
That's what's
own.
happening.
But that's cool.
He's in Stone Oak, just making laps around 1604. No one else is there.
We're in crunch time now. You know, this is it, guys. And in our final few minutes here, let's talk about this, and let's talk about this practically. Can we make it to the NBA Finals as this team?
So here's
last night scared me.
Here's what I would say. Right now, it looks like they have to win 2 straight, which they do. But if you somehow get Game 6 at home, which is a closeout opportunity for OKC, and that's going to be tough for them, get Game 6, and then in a Game 7, everything's out the window.
Right.
It's a winner take all. Nothing goes in a Game 7. So that's the way I look at it. Get 6, and then realize the pressure's on them to close you at home.
Yeah,
So
great point.
anything goes if they get to Saturday.
Yeah, I'm hoping these kids are so young, they don't realize the enormity of the moment.
Agree.
And they just go out and they ball. Because when they do that, they are unstoppable. And that's what blew me away about last night. I felt like, is this moment getting too big for them? That they seemed a little skittish,
right?
apprehensive.
Skittish.
Yes.
Yeah, it seemed that way.
And I'm hoping that Mitch, and I think Mitch even said, these guys, like, just Wemby has to get out there and do what he does, and he didn't. How many shots did he take?
4 of 15.
Yeah.
He was 4 of 15.
4 of
And
15.
Mitch said
that's
after the
not
game
good.
he's got to take many more
And
than
5
15.
or 6 of those were 3-point attempts.
He was
So
for
that
whatever
kind of
from
stuff,
3,
where it's like, man, just I want what we saw a little bit of, that Castle alley-oop to him putting it in. Those kind of, that's where I always say these are those opportunities where we have got to go out early and hard, and you put your foot on their neck and you just don't move it. You don't let up, and you just crush them. You crush their spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I want. Hopefully, Game 6 to do.
Now, what I would just add, they really wanted Game 5 bad. Like mentally, they really wanted to get that game. So I think Mitch has got to pick these guys back up and say, all is not lost.
Right.
3-2, still a long way to go. Still 2 games in our favor we can get.
I've been a part of a couple 3-2s where we've come back. Yeah. It happens, right?
Happens.
We've done it many times.
We can win 2 games in a row.
We can win 2 games in a row.
And let me ask you this, Rob. Seeing this return to stardom, seeing this team back, the love for this team in this city, do you miss being the Coyote?
Oh, it makes me want to put that suit on and go center court immediately. Immediately. I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's not though, and this time of year, crazy amount of work.
Yeah.
Right? You're just working 80 plus hours a week. But the enjoyment and the excitement and the sitting and all the things that I've missed, right? It hasn't really happened since I've been gone in 2016. And to see it again reminds me of how fun it is. And it makes me want to just call the Spurs. Let me just come and let's shoot some videos. I just got some ideas.
I can see him
with ideas
living
in my
room,
head.
running around the living room.
I'm like,
and the
I got
family's
bits.
like, just let him do it.
I got
He's
bits.
having a good time.
Can we
the man
please
back for one game.
Just let me come. Yeah, let me just come. Let me just come. So it's so exciting, and I'm so excited for the game presentation team and all they're getting to do, and the Spurs in general, right? And I appreciate the fans wearing those T-shirts because people talk about that. I was on a podcast with someone from Cleveland, and he was like, "Those shirts, bro."
Really?
He was like, "How do they get everybody to wear them?"
Wow.
The idea of them being different colors is so ingenious. They were like blown away over the T-shirts. And I was like, yeah, it is pretty amazing.
As we wrap up, tell me about Rob Wicall today. I know author. I also know this successful live studio experience you're doing with Sean. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, I wrote a book called Furlosophy. So it's like life lessons I learned from being in a costume.
I love it. Spurtonio. We've got that too.
Yes.
Come on, man.
That's yours. You can just have it. You can just have it.
Come work here.
I will run a camera. Oh, you don't have anyone run a camera here.
Right.
Dang. So doing that, and then actually doing a really neat show with Sean Elliott and Bill Schoening, where we sort of, I say, pull the veil back a little bit and just tell old stories and have some fun. And so that's in New Braunfels, which is where I grew up. That's where I went to school from 1st to 12th grade, so it'll be fun to go back home.
You're a unicorn.
I'm a fighting unicorn.
Wow.
My wife laughs at that all the time. She's
It's
like,
one of the best mascots, right? A mythical creature. How did you land on a mythical creature?
I know.
at a high school?
A fighting unicorn? Aren't
And it's
they like
fighting.
sweet? Yeah.
They're so
I was like, I never really thought about it. I just went and played. I don't know.
I just put the horn on and get out there.
I just go. So doing that and doing some keynote speaking and some emceeing around town, and I know you do some of that, so I'm trying to get your gigs,
all
man.
right,
I feel like you're taking all my gigs. So. No, I'm kidding.
Rob Wicall.
Just loving being a San Antonian.
Man, we love you, and you are San Antonio.
Oh, man.
Puro
Thanks.
San Antonio, bro.
Thank you, man.
San Antonio's
I love this
on.
town.
I tell you
Always
what.
have.
Me too, right? Isn't it
Yes,
the best?
it is the best. I couldn't imagine anywhere else.
All right, go Spurs, go.
Yeah,
They
got to get it done.
Let's do it.
They will. They will.
You confident, Vinny? We get this done?
At least in Game 6. And then get to a Game 7, anything's possible.
I love this quote. It was Greg Gumbel who once said, and it was a Spurs series, and it was a Game 7, I forget what year, but he said, right before pitching to the final commercial break before the game, he goes, every sports fan's favorite 4 words, Game 7 is next. I was like, yeah. That resonated.
Yeah, man.
There's nothing like it in sports.
I hope
I will never. If you asked me my favorite in-game situation, it was Game 7 of the finals against the Detroit Pistons in 05. And I specifically could tell you where I was standing on the court when the third quarter ends, and and I look up, and it was a tie game. It's a tie game. game after 3 quarters. Like the next 12 minutes determine
everything.
Yeah. Like this is classic. Like this is what sports is about right here. These next 12 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I love it, and I wish. Yeah, I want to put that costume on.
Right, I bet you.
I want to be there for game 6, man. Hold me back.
Rob
Hold me back.
Wicall. Hey, man, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much,
so
guys.
for joining
Thank
us
you.
on the Race.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.
You
God
ever
bless
need
you.
anyone to run a camera, you let me know.
Got your number.
Or get your water. Whatever you need. Thanks, guys.